As cyclists and triathletes, we tend to get super tight lats, like we can't even reach up for the coffee mug after long rides or after a race. This isn't necessarily healthy for your back. Today, we're going to take a look at a simple active stretch that involves breathing that's going to help you to elongate your spine, open it up just a little bit, and hopefully alleviate some pain and discomfort that you may have because the rest of the time your back is healthy. The important part for today's exercise before we jump into it is that you want to make sure that your back is healthy and well. If you're having any type of numbness, tingling, loss of sensation, sharp pain, stabbing, or just back pain in general, the first thing you should do before doing today's exercise is go see a McGill certified practitioner or a physical therapist to make sure you don't have any specific or severe things going on with your back. Nobody likes thinking about their back pain and having it assessed, but listen, if you don't have it taken care of, you could maybe not ever do triathlon or riding ever again. Now, with that out of the way, we're going to look at the active preacher stretch. So this is actually in my rapport from the Stuart McGill certification course and following Dr. McGill for the last decade plus. What we're going to do is a stretch which is going to allow you to activate the deep muscles of your core and your back while opening up the lats and teaching you to get good breathing and hip hinging all in one time. You're going to need a bench or a sofa in front of you. Ideally, when you're kneeling, we want it to be about mid-chest height. So for Jordana, this is going to be a lot lower than for me. And you want to make sure that your knees are back far enough that you're actually able to hinge back and pull as if someone has a rope lassoed around your hips, pulling you back. So first thing we're going to do is Jordana's going to come forward and she's going to put both of her elbows close together, fairly close together on the bench. From there, she's going to drop her head down and interlace her fingers together and then bring her hands in to crush the ears just a little bit. Now from here, she's going to put around 2 kilos or 5 pounds of pressure into the bench. If you don't know how much that is, just enough to push to keep a door closed, let's say from a toddler pushing it open. Now from there, she's driving the head very gently back into her hands, and she's going to take a deep breath in, putting the 2 kilos of pressure into the bench with the elbows, and then she's going to pretend I have a lasso around her hips pulling her back, and there's a weight tied around her chest, pulling her chest down towards the floor. We want to think about 3 breaths in this position. So you're going to breathe into the mid-back, and you're going to think about that weight pulling you down each breath out. The key to this is you're keeping the 5 pounds of pressure here, or the 2 kilos, and you're really, really thinking about a 10 or 15 pound weight tied around your chest and a lasso pulling your hips back. What we're trying to do is elongate the spine. If you have any type of pain or discomfort in a arching position on your back, this is not the exercise for you. Again, go see a good physical therapist or a McGill certified practitioner. You'll notice that as we go through this, Jordana's getting nice range of motion. Now, she had done one of these right before we jumped on camera and hit record, but you'll notice that as she breathes out, she's getting more of a concave arch in her back. This is what we're looking for. We don't want to overdo it. We're going to take just 3. After the 3rd deep breath in and out, she's going to take a deep breath in, bring the hips forward, and then she's going to stand nice and tall. Now, the key with this and any other exercise that's opening a joint, remember, a muscle has 3 jobs in the body. Number 1 is to protect a joint. Number 2 is to stabilize a joint while an adjacent joint moves. And number 3 is to move a joint. If your muscles are very tight and you find this to be beneficial for you, you have to do other exercises that will help address the issues at its core to keep you from getting injured. I cannot stress this enough. A lot of cyclists and triathletes have got hurt because they've just gone and stretched a lot and not built strength and addressed the major issue. Now, if you found today's video to be very useful and beneficial to you in helping you to alleviate your upper neck, back, or achiness after a ride and better able to grab that coffee cup off of the cupboard the next day, make sure you're subscribing to the channel down below. Make sure you also head over to the Human Vortex Training website, check out our blogs, and more great resources on strength training for cyclists and triathletes.